Let's begin indeed. Hello people, Sujari speaking. TheCrazyBunch's WebShow episode number 133. Today we're doing not one, not two, but 5 depth topics today. Of course, we're going to celebrate to celebrate Thanksgiving. And we're going to end off with one more thing. And that is, of course, the celebration of the 30-year anniversary of Toy Story. This could have been happening 4 years ago yesterday. Excuse me. Anyway, burped in. Anyways, let's talk about it right now, so shall we? So we got for us. Start with Carl Cavallo. Born called Nick Cavallo. He was an American actor and stuntman. He appeared in over 300 films and television projects. He is best known for portraying the Fae in the Roderick Carmen produced but unreleased film The Fantastic Four. He was born on November 12, 1953, Alberta, California. He started his career as a plumber's associate when he was invited to one of his restaurant associates to join him at the Knott's Berry Farm. Wow. As they were looking for big and tall actors to perform for audiences. Wow. Burroughs took the job for the summer, but he found himself enjoying it. Within a couple months, I had a cowboy hat and gun, and I was on stage, and people were applauding, laughing. And I told my parents I'd go back to school one day. Cavallo never returned to school at all. He would appear in numbers of film and television projects over the years, including Fight Club, Mission Impossible 3, and Amazing Spider-Man. In 1993, Cavallo received a call to appear in the Roger Corman production. They were looking for a stuntman. They were looking for somebody that's about 6 feet tall, weigh about 220 pounds or so. So I went to audition to talk a little bit, and they thought I was a guy. So which was, very cool. While the actor who was playing Ben Grimm, Michael Barry Smith, was tall. Wow. He was unable to fit the Fae suit at all. Very bought to wear the costume, which he found the highest effing Fae figure he ever wore. Okay. In October 20th, 2014, Phil launched a Kickstarter campaign to have a biography book published. He scored $11,055 US dollars, and in September 2015, published Stars and Stories, Hollywood's Stuntman Fall of Fame. The book was co-written by Terry Ryan. On November 19th, 2025, it's announced that Cavallo had died in Owensboro, Alabama. Carl Cavallo was 72 years old. My next step has to do with Lynn Fox, born that name. He was an American artist who lived and worked in Los Angeles. He was born in Washington on November 17th, 1944. Wow. Stewart, Project Arts Associate, now Cal Arts. Anyways, folks began, eventually would be, Forest Gallery, Los Angeles in 1959. At first, one-man expedition was held in Furrow's 1961, something like that. Anyways, folks other already sold inventions, including the Precious Art Museum 1962, the Oakland Art Museum 1964. He also showed a new gallery across the street for the Furries Expedition Guest Georgia, my home state. Keith, that's the wrong name. Guest Georgia Keith, Auburn Penn, among others. Colin Rolfe National Gallery from 1963, 1964, and in 1967, folks was awarded the prize for painting the Paris Panade Moise de Art de la B. Paris, followed by the European exhibition there. The Los Angeles County Museum of Art was the first museum that acquired this sport with its collection. In 1964, it's an official building still under construction. Charles Pove, the nomination selected folks to present the United States ninth saw Paul Art Bio. Brazil of the Artes, when I pronounce it, sorry. Mario saw parts of Brazil, also in 1987. Through the 60s, late 60s and into the 70s, folks created a landscape paintings that analyzed the iconography of postcards. Vintage landscape photography in throughout 66 inspired Hazard signs. This period resulted in the first retrospective organized by the Newport Art Museum in 1974. Music art also became the major catalyst in the folks' work at the time. Anyway, he played the drums of City Lights in 1965 and 1971, formed his own band, the Rubber Band, in 1973, and stayed there together until 1977. By 1979, folks had returned his childhood interest in one-man bands, and again played solo with Matt Machine, which agreed he performed in Machine regularly in the West Coast, at least a CD of original variations, entitled Lynn Folks and Machine, while I'm in the church and art, even though I don't maybe interested in art in church music, sorry, but that's just me. But anyways, beginning in the early 80s, folks began working on a series of table logs, began with Apollo 1983, his work popped from 1986 to 1989, Collection Museum of Commercial Art in Los Angeles. Utilized fragments of the real clothing and real poetry all to join with the painted service. Poetry will include pop along with a group of famous paintings. Including Hover Silker, especially in 1992, in which the artist was among the groups and experienced with some of that. Folks' most egregious large-scale project were The Lost Frontier, 1997 to 2004, Deliverance, 2004 to 2007. The ability to do these two works along with the extended interviews and mystical commissions by folks are the subjects of documentary entitled Lynn Folks One Man Band, directed by Tamar Alburns for that. Chris Clary's for that. Documentary premiered at the Los Angeles Film Festival in 2013, where it was called An Imagination Portrait by the Hollywood Reporter. It was compared to the other acclaimed artist portrait documentaries such as Sugar Man, wow, including The Boxer, by Reality. The film was opened virally in the United States in May 2014. His folks was a permanent and performer of the documentary 13 Casmall, Germany in 2012, and was subject to major perspective, was started in February 2013 in the Hammer Museum, Los Angeles. Dominated Flynn Folks One Man Best Band, directed by Tamara Harbour and Chris Quality, is available on iTunes and Netflix. Wow. Lynn Folks will play a role in the film Your Name Here, also directed by Tamara Harbour. He died about last Friday. He was 91 years old. My next step top has to do with Joey Bean Johnson, born Jerry George Joey Bean Johnson. He was best. Oh no, I'm not a huge fan of these hip hop. But anyway, move on. He was best known as American drummer, guitarist, songwriter, record producer, musician based off in Minnesota. He was best known for involved at the time, and his producer group Dry Time. But anyway, so the family members of both groups. Wow. As a Greek youth born November 19th, 1956. Johnson relocated from Chicago, Minneapolis. Wow, okay. He received drum lessons at age 13, and 2 years later began teaching himself guitar. He attended Marshall University High School, where he played in the basketball team, and then attended the University of Minnesota. His career began as a drummer for the time, something like that. Johnson was working alongside famed producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Wow, okay. Oh, yeah, hard rock is good. But anyway, move on. He recorded with and/or produced many notable artists, including Alexander O'Neal, Sherelle, New Edition, Janet Jackson, with whom he had the 1990 #1 hit single Black Cat, something like that. And to bring up the time, Johnson worked as the producer, musician, as well as a songwriter and best become a long time associated with the Flight Time Productions. His first assignment with Alexander O'Neal's #111 R&B hit. Associate acknowledgement, sorry. Produced by fellow long-time bandmates Jimmy Jam and Terry Thomas. Terry Lewis, anyway. Which they contributed both drums and guitar solos. Oh yeah. For the second half of the 10-minute long song. Wow. But this recording forward, Johnson became an in-demand session guitarist, drummer, and percussionist. He also produced a number of hits for the Informative, as well as New Edition and Home Mint Combinations 1991 debut album, Meant to Be Met. He also rejoined for time in the Prince feature film Gravity Bridge. As comedy at the time, Time album, Primarium, shortly after. Johnson returned to join with Morris Day, while continuing to produce and encourage the album artists and working as a session player. 2008, he collaborated with Rihanna in the 50th Annual Grammy Awards. Wow. They began working their solo debut. Following the unexpected death of Prince in 2016, one of the worst years ever. Duh. It was, Johnson held production. He returned to the Grammy stage for both the 2017 tribute and the 2020 salute to Prince. Finally released the album Great Experience in 2021. In 2022, Johnson founded Mama's Sound Museum. The same year, he and fellow members of the type were awarded the Soul Train Lifetime Achievement Award. He was 6 foot 4 inches, 1.93 meters, and played expanded basketball as a teenager. He has 7 children. He died on November 21st, 2024, which is his last flight. He was 69 years old. But that next step, talking to Stephen Dawley. Born that name, he was an American screenwriter, producer, activist, and ambitious journalist who had begun his screenwriting career in the 1960s. Wow. While still working in the Los Angeles Police Department LAPD officer. But most of these Dawley's 1980s writing and producing credits are under the novice and accepted knowledge in the LAPD. Dawley is active in the moment at the end of the International War on Drugs, American Police America. In 2011, Dawley became a board member of the Law Enforcement Action Partnership, formerly known as Law Enforcement Against Partnership, EAP for short. After years representing the group as a speaker, he left the board in 2019 and was still and was a board member, which gave speeches and writes open pages on behalf of the group. He also volunteers his time as a journalist, with a focus on the police coercion and reform, some of that. But the local print newspaper in Long Beach, California. Songwriter, producer, screenwriter, he's best known for the screen series Walking Tall, World Cup series, T.J. Hooker, and MacGyver. His long personal career began with this. He retired from the LAPD in 1980 after more than 20 years. Wow. Of service. During which he saw firsthand the diverse nature of wars and drugs. Wow. He left the market of LAPD with his many assignments. Wow, okay. As captain of detectives, he established homicide investigation techniques still in use today. As commanding officer of Germany Division, he established and published a file that brought an end to abuse in state coalitions by that some of the programs. As commanding officer of the Southwest area, he designed and implemented the first presidentially integrated police operation in law enforcement and the combating gang activity, a program that became a national model. As commanding officer of the Personal Training Bureau, he chaired the Student Review Board and provided the leadership of the first use force policy in the nation that had to be in the enable reverse for human life that is taken to be the last resort. Dowling's son is also served as the LAPD deputy chief. Mount P. Dowling serves the commanding officer as a counterterrorism and special operations bureau. Was in the term the chief of police after Chief W. William J. Barnes stepped down to 1990. Since retirement, he has been an outspoken admission at the end of both the moderation of police and war on drugs. Now, his act of war on drugs began with this, okay? Dowling became obsessed with war on drugs after the death of the fellow officer in the undercover drug sting in 1973. Since then, countless endless deaths and situations and officers from drug violence and death of assets who were overdosed due to exposure and importation of street drugs have commanded Dowling's operations in drug war. He opposed this war on drugs not only due to the negative output but impacts on national communities, anyway, but also the drug wars, coercion, influence, and law enforcement, Dowling believed the drug wars and conversion from law enforcement true purpose, but it was also made police departments depending on drug subversions as a source of fighting invaded through civil invasion programs, As lead board member, Dowling took part in 2012 Fort Coalition for Peace, joined Mexican poet, novelist, and peace activist Jobber Sylvius, to raise awareness and the disastrous effects, something like that. Anyways, drug positions, anyway, has had some anyway, on both the U.S. and Mexico. Dowling has been options peace, relation to end the drug war. Publications such as the Hollywood Post, New York Magazine, the Los Angeles Times, and cannabis positions was ended in California. He served as a director and later for 2 years as chairman of the board of directors of cannabis, Incorporated, something like that. Anyway, a publishing trade cannabis corporation. His whole career began with this, okay? Now, Dowling's Hollywood career credits including writing, producing credits and over 500 hours of television dating back to 1965. His first Hollywood job was an technical advisor in Adam 12, advising Jack Webb, who was led by Dowling's first script for the TV show Dragnet. Okay? Well, the LAPD officer, he used three screen names to stay on the department radar. He used a predominant Michael Darvin, Steve Bryant, and Aaron Reeves with screenwriting credits. Michael Darvin, Dowling wrote the 10 shows, including episodes of Dragnet, 12, Emergency, and Police Story. Steve Bay, he wrote for 16 shows, including Kojak, Quincy MB, Krusty Love, and The Street of San Francisco. And Adam Leeds, he wrote for 5 shows, including Barreda and Police Woman. Dowling would write on weekends, and his wife, Allie Hallen, who would deliver the scripts to the producers. Okay? After retiring for the LAPD, Dowling began exceptionally using his real name for television script projects, okay? Now, Dowling served as executive producer, showrunner, and writer on 14 television shows as himself, okay? His television production credits included in the series MacGyver, T.J. Hooker, Knight Rider, FX series, and RoboCop. He has written and produced numbers made for television movies and mini-series, including Rat Roaring, Terror Around the Tower, including about the first bombing of the New York World Trade Center in 1993. Wow. Crisis in the Midair, Along the Neon Jungle, Coming to Hell, numbers and projects include the novels of John Jakes. Wow. Initial writing on only credits and using his real name including Chips, Neil Rolf, Syria. I pronounced it, sorry. Anyways, McLean's Law, and Walking Tall, something like that. Anyway, Downey has also featured in self-made documentaries, including Localize It, there's The Culture Hot, American Dog War 2, Cannabis Destiny, with Justice and Destiny, Calling for Peace. The most recent work, Hate Trade, a screenplay about a black female homicide detective who denials of murders, pack of supported white feminists, commercially launched from Palm Beach, Florida. It was completed and taken into the production marketplace in May 2021. So yeah. He's currently working on a screenplay about Sky Mary, a mother suffering from Crohn's disease, who had been a victim of state of Kansas war and cannabis. His work with MacGyver is like this. Okay? Let me scroll down. Come on. Anyways, moving on. Oh, come on, really? Anyway, stop it. Anyway. He worked on the show MacGyver since its first season in 1985. Eventually serving as executive producer, showrunner. Donnie's wife, Harlan Allen, served the show published, and the daughter, Julie, added multiple episodes in the series. Donnie was a surprising producer, show doctor responsible for the MacGyver's distribution used the gun. As his character's trait that he pushed for after being to be bought in the pilot episode, which MacGyver used a gun. Wow. That was unfortunate. Anyways, Donnie became a associate for carbon access for guns, especially handguns. Wow. After seeing the effects with gun violence firsthand as a police officer, he was a witness to the LAPD's role in prevention of that violence by option of seized guns. Of these guns were to eventually to be used in the crime. These positions earned criticism, okay? According to a call from the National Rifle Association of America, NRA for short, to boycott MacGyver. Wow. Now, scroll up a little bit, essentially journalism efforts. Current is age, doesn't live in Long Beach, California, where it was freshly published articles investigating Long Beach Police Department. Okay, now, Don's investigative journalism efforts began after the LPDE, something like that, shooting at Douglas Zerby by Long Beach Police in 2010. The Long Beach, Los Angeles District Authority declined to reverse the shooting, but the subsequent civil case report resulted to $6.5 million judgment against the city. Wow. Donnie does not take the payment of this investigative journalism work, seen as a community service. Since 2010, Donnie has covered emerging scandals at the Long Beach Police Department. His writings has uncovered mismanagement, incompetence, corruption, and abuse, and official fraud for LPDE, something like that. This work has received praise in the community and also criticism of the LPDE, something like that. As a performance, including a death threat of the former LPDD, something like that, officer. In 2018, a development whistleblower, sources within the LPDD, style worker the ACLU, something like that, and Al Jarutha, to uncover the LPDC, something like that, secret use of the disappearing messaging app, Tiger Tax. Al Jarutha and Dallas publisher, the Long Beach Beachcomber, something like that, will publish some of his articles in the sale of September 18th, 2018. Wow. It's on the LPBD, whatever. Chief of Police Robert Rona issued an order that very day ending his department's use of disappearing messages app and department have been using for the last 4 years. Sadly, he died last Thursday. He was 87 years old. My last step talking about was Manny. Born Gary Manny Mountford. He was an English bassist, best known for the member of the rock band the Stone Roses and Palmetto Scream. Manny joined the Stone Roses in 1987, playing on both of their albums before the group disbanded in 1996. Later that year, he began a full-time basis with Primal Scream, performing all 5 albums from Vanishing Point in 1997 and Beautiful Future in 2008. Something like that. He left Primal Scream in 2011 to participate in the Stone Roses reunion. The band broke up in the second time in 2017. He was born November 16th, 1962, at WebShow, England, Manchester, England. Anyway, so I was Colin Mumford, feels like that. The chef who was at Manchester United football team. Wow. His mother was Irish and Patrick Farrow from Affy in South Carter Island. Wow. Is that Ireland? Let me see. Yep, that was Ireland. Okay. He attended Irvine College in Rushmore, Manchester. He developed an interest in darts, a sport he wanted to champion throughout his career. Now, his career began with this. He left school at age 16 in 1979, and in 1984 and 1985, he briefly played with Clint Boom, something like that. And the band that is called themselves The Mill, okay? Along with John Squire, he was in the original lineup of the guitar in the band called The Waterfront, okay? Now, they didn't perform live, but did, which was recorded 2 tracks, was eventually released in 2018. He joined the Stone Roses in 1987, which were part of the Manchester music scene. Played on both the band's studio albums. Mountfield was in Stone Roses until they disbanded in 1996. Mountfield was in Rickenbacker 4005 with Jackson Pollock's influence paint, inspired bass, guitar, in the period after Stone Roses' debut solo album. He joined Primal Scream and the Stone Roses disbanded. He claimed that Primal Scream wanted 3 other bands that he would be willing to join. The Jesus Mary Chain and also began being the others. 2003, with Darren Charles and that have left Ocean Color Scene, OCS for short. He toured the band supporting the Stereophonics. He also was often viewed as the most MIA, something else, sorry. Remember the Roses, but while the band was still together at the breakup. Okay? After Stone Roses split up, but that has been further explanation that might have been reformed. He was a lifelong Manchester United fan, joking the band would reform after the Manchester City won the European Cup. He was also viewed the most likely member of the Roses reunion. During the band split, he joined the lead vocalist Ian Brown on the stage. Wow. Rendition of songs by Stone Roses. Waterfall, Man of Stone, Starvation has happened in 2008 Summer Chase Festival, Madrid and Barcelona, where both Primal Scream and Brown were playing on the same day. Mountfield, excuse me. Anyways, move on. Play bass on some demos for ex-Stone Roses drummer Svenny, and these were further rumors in the group performing in 2005 at all costs. When the two were interviewed with the Manchester Music Show on the BBC GMR, whilst again attending a gig in Manchester. Wow, Mountfield would tour with the Enemy in the UK tour. Wow. Mountfield was against one of the Michael Charlie John in the 24-Hour Party People in 2002. The supergroup band called Freebase, with bassist A-Rock, formerly the Smiths, Peter Hook of Joy Division, New Orr. Freebase, the band before the recent debut solo album, It's a Beautiful Life in 2010. He also appeared in the Manchester vs. Cancer event in March 2007. Performed DJ March 2000, performed a DJ set Imperial A. Brown for the finale. Wow. The Stone Roses and Formation. May left Pro Screen for the Stone Roses 2012 reunion. He continued a full-time Pro Screen member till his last appearance of them at the Emmerich Wells Armory on December 21st, 2011. His first 11 death. He met his wife Emery during his 13-month-long recording with the Stone Roses 1994 album, Second Coming at Rockfield Studios in Monmouth, Wales. They were married until her death in bowel cancer in November 2023. The couple was survived by their two twin sons. Well, Matthew supported the Manchester United and appeared on Sky One programming football years. He also reviewed the Play UK programming New Music. There was also, although he supported Manchester United in England, he was mixed Irish and was brought up to support Ireland. In 2019, Mary accepted the Mary of Arthur Award and his mother's hometown Ali Ireland. He died last Thursday. He was 63 years old. His death was announced that day by his brother. Wow. He has lived in having more Scotport since 1981. And that was in England. Now let's be doing more besides special regards to not one, not two, but 5 death topics right now. Thank you. Recipes these 5 people. Now let's move on to 2 more things. One of which is Thanksgiving, and then we'll say before we go, we're gonna have to talk about Toy Story. Now, today, this week we'll celebrate Thanksgiving. It's a British holiday. The United States celebrate the 4th Thursday of November. It's been a uniform day countrywide since 1941. The earliest Thanksgiving can offer is November 22nd. The latest is November 28th. Outside the United States, it's called American Thanksgiving. Wow. So which is, for the Canadian holiday, the same name. That was last month. The latest celebration in the other regions. Wow. Now, the modern national celebration today goes back to 1863. Prior to this, it was the original holiday whose origin lies in the 17th and 18th century days of Thanksgiving. Okay? Kind of New England, emergence of holiday was not linear. Various New England communities have apparently developed their own spiritual traditions. They were slowly harmonized in the annual Thanksgiving Day. The first known official day of Thanksgiving in New England tradition declared Plymouth Colony began in 1623. Wow. 2 years after the famous 1621 harvest celebration, popularized the first Thanksgiving. Wow. Bearing some initial, if colonial, special what Thanksgiving Day was eventually become. Now, celebration of Thanksgiving harvest in New England became a regular occurrence by the 1660s. Wow. As the name applies to the theme, the holiday revolves from that. Around giving thanks and therapies, the most traditional celebration of Thanksgiving dinner, and for family and friends. Now, the dinner often commits of food associated with New England holiday celebrations: turkey, potatoes, usually mashed and sweet, squash, corn, maize, green beans, cranberries, topping with cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie. Wow. Here's some spread over the years include the speculation of other regions in the United States, such as macaroni and cheese, pecan pie, and softened while he's suffered stuffing in the Great Lakes region. Wow. As well as international image dishes. Now, other Thanksgiving customs include cranberry segregation of Thanksgiving dinner for the poor. In addition, entertaining relations services and watching other or parades and parades and other American football games. Now, that makes more sense in any way. So that comes on Thursday. Be looking up for, especially coming up, 99th annual Thanksgiving Day Parade on NBC. Be looking out for it. So it's a huge one. Now, Thanksgiving is also topic to regard the beginning of the holiday shopping season, which is the day after, which is Black Friday, which I'm just my 11th time doing this. I've been considered to be the busiest regular shopping day of the year in the United States, which I'm one of those people. Cyber Monday, the ritual is held on the Monday before Thanksgiving, which I'm one of those people again. 11th time. So that's just me. And that's it for that topic. Now, let's move on to the last one, which is Toy Story. Now, it is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time, next to Babe, the Sheep Pig, the 1995 movie, and Babe Pig in the City. Now for sequels, which is of Toy Story. So, the first one is the 1995 American animated adventure comedy film, produced by Pixar Animated Studios with Walt Disney Pictures. It was the first installment in the Toy Story franchise, and the first entirely computer animated feature-length film, as well as the first feature film for Pixar. The film was directed by John Lasseter, written by Josh Whedon, Andrew Sen, Jill Kahn, and Alex Soyle, based on the story by Lasseter, Sen, Pete Docter, and Joe Ranft. Rest in peace, Joe Ranft, if you're watching this. Produced by Arnold, Ralph Garham. Features the voice of Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Eddie Potts, John Ratzenberger, Don Rickles, late Don Rickles, Wallace Shawn, and the late Jim Varney. Taking place in a world where toys come to life when humans are not present. Toy Story follows an old-fashioned pro-string cowboy doll named Woody. In the modern space cadet action figure called Buzz Lightyear, as Woody develops jealousy towards Buzz, when he becomes their owner's A's toy. Wow. Father says in 1988 short film Tin Toy, Pixar published by Disney, produced a computer animated feature-length film that was told by the small toys perspective. Lazarus, Sand, and Doctor were early story treatments. Wow. Now, which were rejected by Disney. Wow. At the time. Who wanted the film's tone to be edgier. Wow. After several disastrous story reels, now production was halt and the script was rewritten to be better, reflect the tone, and then being Pixar desired. Wow. Toys deeply want children to play with them, and the desire was drive their hopes, fears, and actions. So anyway, the studio was concerned the relatively small number of employees, produced Pig Toy Story under the not minor batteries constructs. Toy Story premieres at El Cabin Theater in Los Angeles on November 19th, 1995. Just weeks, it was months after I was born. Wow. And the release in theaters in North America just a year ago, 4 years ago to the day yesterday, November 22nd. It was the highest grossing film during this opening weekend. Wow. And I was one of those people to see it twice. One in 2009, another one this year. But anyways, it goes over $363 million worldwide. Wow. Making the second highest grossing film in 1995, the year I was born. Wow. The film received critical acclaim, the phrase directed towards the technical motion and animation. Script, writing, and score, filled in all ages groups. The voice performance of Patrick Hanks and Allen. I was 100% approval rating on the Christian website Rotten Tomatoes. Films were was one of the best animated films ever made, and due to its best status and first computer animated film, one of the most important films in medium history, and film at large. Now, the film received 3 Academy Award nominations. Now, film Best Original Screenplay, first animated film to be nominated for the award. Best Original Song for You Guys, Fred and Me. And of course, Best Original Score. In addition to be honored with the inaugural Special Achievement Academy Award. 2005, Toy Story is selected as presented in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. It's being culturally, historically, and artistically segment. One of the 9 films designed in the first year its ability, especially Bay movie, because that's one of my top 10 films of all time. But yeah, success Toy Story launched a multimedia franchise. Swapping over 4 sequels began with Toy Story 2 in 1999. Spin-off film Lightyear in 2022. Number of short films. The film has been had several federal releases, including 3D release in 2009, part of a double feature, the second film, and the 40th anniversary release in 2025. I saw in theaters twice, so don't get me wrong. But anyway, that is Toy Story, and that was the Crazy Bunch web show episode number, 133. Hope you enjoyed. Stan's gonna be, I'm not gonna say news right now, but we'll talk about that another day. But the next episode we're gonna talk about here is episode 134, which will come out on the last day of our November month. How exciting! And before we go in this episode, we'd like to wish Lucy, my sister, a happy birthday. She is, I'm telling you, she's one of my associate producers for HBM. Looking forward to see you on Thursday. So Lucy, if you watch, happy birthday to you. Can't wait to see you on Thursday. But enough said. Until next time, suggest my baby. We're more episodes from Say out. See ya.